How you doing today, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is Mr. Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world. Today I'm gonna do a couple of more examples of solving two-step equations the way that I was taught to do them. Hopefully this will help you a little better answer these questions. Before I start, please go ahead and consider subscribing, turn the notification bell on if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to support the channel, link down in the description. Other than that, let's get right into it. All right, so two-step equations right here. So we're gonna do this a little bit faster. We're gonna avoid those extra steps that we're probably getting confused. The only thing that we gotta remember is that in order to get rid of whatever we need to get rid of, we gotta do the opposite on the other side. So in this case, we're trying to solve for x right here. So we gotta isolate x. The first thing that we gotta get rid of is that -6. And that's a -6. So next 6 is subtracting. So the opposite of subtracting is adding. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna rewrite this equals, and I'm gonna do this over here like that.
Oh, okay.
Or
So 1/4?
no. Let's look up.
Wait, didn't you say x means 1?
No, x doesn't mean 1. No, I never said that. Pay attention. X doesn't have a value yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the opposite of -6 on the other side. So over here, I'm just gonna do +6. This will cancel out. Now, I can do this operation on the side if I want to, or I can do it in my head because it's a simple operation. So I'm gonna have x/4 remaining on this side equals to this side I have +1. 6 minus 5 is +1. That was the first step. Undo, just do the opposite on the other side. Now, what I want to do is do the opposite to whatever that 4 is doing. So in this case, 4 is dividing, so I'm gonna multiply by 4 on the other side. This will cancel out. So I'm gonna have x equals to 4. Much cleaner, but you just have to remember that you gotta do the opposite on the other side before you bring it down.
Why does the 4 cancel out?
Because we're just undoing it on our heads. So basically, this is avoiding the steps. So what, just do the opposite on the other side and delete it from the left side. Let's look at another one. For example, number 3. Okay, the first thing I gotta get rid of is this one right here. The 7 is subtracting, so I'm just gonna add 7 on the other side and cancel that -7. So I'm just gonna add 7 and remove this. Just remember, just remove it. Okay? So I'm left with 9x equals to 0, right? Now the 9 and the x together, they're multiplying. So the opposite is to do what? Divide. So I'm gonna divide by 9. And this cancels out. Now, if you want to see step by step on this one, how this works, I have a video for that, and I'll leave it up for you over here in the link, or you can find on the playlist that I have for solving equations. So check that one out. This is just moving faster, moving forward, a little more advanced. So now I'm left with x over here. 0 divided by 9 is just 0. That's it.
So that's a 0?
For that one, yes. So basically, you have 0 over 9. So whenever the 0 is on top, the answer is 0. But if you had, for example, if you had 9 divided by 0, the answer will be no solution. We cannot divide by 0. It will be no solution. If you plug it in the calculator, it will give you an error. If you plug this in the calculator, it will give you 0. If you plug this in the calculator, it gives you 0. If you plug this in the calculator, it will say error. If you have this in the calculator, it says error. It's still not, it's a no solution. Because I did the opposite on the other side. So let's do another one. Let me see what else. Yes, ma'am. What is it? Yes. So I just did the opposite. Now, that's why I was playing the other video a little bit ago, because that one goes step by step, showing it like in a line. This one, you say it's too much, so I'm doing it faster. So let's look at another sample. Number 8 is another one that we had to do on the assignment on the previous video. So for this one, before I can do anything like that, we have a group, okay? So I gotta undo that group. And remember, a number and a parenthesis together, they're multiplying. So I have to distribute that. I cannot do anything if it's like that. So if they're multiplying, I'm gonna multiply this by this, and then this by this. So I'm gonna have 2 times n is just 2n. Both of them are positive, stays positive. Then positive and positive is plus. 2 times 5 is 10, equals -2. Okay, so now I have a simple equation. Now in this one, I'm gonna do it both ways to show you a comparison, the long way and the faster way, okay? Just so that you can see the difference. Hopefully this video is gonna makes a little more sense. So, again, we gotta get rid of the 10 first, and the 10 is doing what? Adding. So we gotta subtract 10, and what I do to one side, I do to the other side of the equal sign. This is the step that I'm doing fast on the other one. So I just don't mark it, right? So this cancels out. 10 minus 10 is 0. You're left with 2n equals 2. 10 and 2, that's 12. But both of them are negative, so my answer is -12. We have the same sign, so we add them up, but we keep the sign, right? Because that's the rule for adding and subtracting negatives. Now, the next step, I gotta leave the n by itself, and the n is currently multiplying with 2. The opposite of multiply is divide. So I gotta divide this by 2, and what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. This will make this just to cancel out, and you're left with the n by itself. N. Now I have, let's look at the signs. I have a negative and a positive. So happy or sad? Negative and positive. Sad. So my answer is going to be negative. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the value of n is -6. That's the long way, showing all the steps. Okay? Now the other way that I did on the previous problem is going to be like this. I'm just going to rewrite the question starting right here. So I have 2n plus 10 equals to -2. Okay? And instead of doing this step and this step, I'm just going to do it kind of in my head. Okay? This is what I'm going to do now. So to get rid of the 10, I just got to subtract 10. So I'm going to subtract 10, but I'm going to subtract it on the other side. And this cancels out. So I'm left with 2n equals 10 and 2, that's 12, both of them are negative. Okay, we good so far? Gonna get it now? Now the next step is to get rid of that 2. That 2 is multiplying with the n. So the opposite of multiply is what? Divide. So I'm gonna divide by 2 and cancel that 2. And I'm gonna have an n remaining. Negative and positive is negative. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and I get the same answer. If you like this way better, please do it like that. If you like this way better, please do it like that. At the end of the day, both of them takes you to the exact same answer. It's just a matter of which one you like better. If you know of another method to solve this, You can leave them down in the comments below and I'll be happy to help you. Now, I personally don't do this little thing on the side. So the way I do this is just straight up doing it in my head. So for example, I gotta subtract 10. So -2 minus 10 equals -12. That cancels this out, so I'm left with 2n. Then I know I'm gonna have to divide by 2, so n equals to -6. I just do it on my head. Now, if you can do that on these blue steps and the black step in your head, by all means. At the end of the day, the answer is the same either way. So I hope that you learned something today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel, link down in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the notification bell on. If you haven't seen my other channel, check it out, MTV Alex. Other than that, that is going to be it for this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.